Welcome to our show. With us is Dr. Michael Laitman. Good day. And our topic for today is the state of truth and false. Bestowal writes that there's nothing greater than the truth and nothing lowlier than the lie. So how can we determine these two categories in our world, truth and false? Where's the truth here? Because everyone has their own truth. That's the problem. That's why we're not oriented correctly in anything in life. And we always replace the truth with the lie and the lie with the truth. So what do we measure it against? Only the wisdom of Kabbalah speaks about it, and nothing else. You see, religions, they go in every which way. Philosophy, psychology too. There's like no standard, no consensus that this is the truth. Of course not. You can even go over different codes, legal, procedural, etc., from country to country, and you'll see that everyone has a different perception of what is truth and false. So everyone has their own understanding of what is freedom, equality, etc. If it's natural, then maybe it's okay. Who says that there's just one standard to what's the truth? If people start interacting, suppose you have Indians living in one place, Aborigines in another, the Chukchas and the Africans in a different place, and they have no connection between them, then it's okay. But if the world becomes round and everyone interacts, is interconnected, and everyone needs some kind of common foundation to understand each other, so we need like a single law. It's like gravity, for example. The law is one for all, and no one has a problem with it. Exactly the same way need to be the social laws, but because we're egoists and each wants to make these laws adapt to themselves, we can't change physical laws. But social laws are given to us so that we can every time adapt them to ourselves and to the truth each time. And thus it says, search for justice and truth. Search all life long, search from generation to generation, and gradually that's how you'll advance. Then you'll have a society that will truly advance, go forward. And if you're not in pursuit of this goal, if each has their own truth and leave me alone, like we have today, like we hear from some people, then correspondingly, of course, I don't remember where it's written, but the lie is embedded in the very foundation of creation and our desire to receive. Of course, because if I'm thinking about how to have it good, how to improve my situation, then I'm in pursuit of just one goal. I don't care about truth or false. What I care about is that I'll have it good. I have a completely different orientation, setup. And in that state, obviously, each has his own truth. Everyone's sure that they're right. And of course, people have different levels of desire to receive in different directions. Right, let's talk about what's more important. Everyone has what's more important to them. For someone, freedom's more important, for someone, equality, and therefore in the world you have rightists, leftists. It's especially expressed in the economy. And the main thing is that they don't understand each other, that there's something in common and are not going towards it. And Kabbalah says that there's something average or what? There's something higher. You yourself say that there's nothing redundant in the world, so there needs to be the lie. Different opinions between people, differences in opinion between people, that's excellent. The problem is that they don't know how to work on their differences in opinion to come to a common denominator. So what can you advise? No advice. You need to learn how to rise above your ego in order to unite. Unity must be the most important thing. So it's not the lie or truth that are important. Truth or false don't exist at all. There's some kind of natural awakenings in me. I can consider them to be true or false. Doesn't matter. But above that all needs to be the connection between people. So it's okay to lie if it's for the sake of uniting the nation, for example. Yeah, only that you can take into account. It's like if I lie to my child in order for him to do something that I understand that will be good for him. For him to take up music or something. Yeah. If I annul myself toward everyone, then I, as a result, achieve the best possible state for myself and for society. It said that the truth grows from the ground. Ground meaning desire, aretz. Why is that? Because I begin from the lowest level, the ego, and I want to attain the highest level, altruism. And my motion upwards needs to be strictly vertical all the time. This is what you need to teach, and then we'll really attain a good connection between us on the highest level. So again, Kabbalists, do they lie? Of course they do, but for the sake of something. Sake of what? For the sake of connection, for the sake of attaining a special goal. What we lack in our life, what we're missing, is to understand the highest standard, what you measure against, meaning the purpose of nature. Why did it create us specifically the way we are? In order to bring us the complete connection between us, in order for us to become one whole. So, for that, I need to see this one whole. I need to understand its laws, habits, what drives the society of the one whole, to educate myself accordingly. Along with it, preserving the individuality of each and every one, as Bestowal writes. Right, the individuality remains, and along with it, you aspire for such a society. So the common whole is like a common goal, truth. It's where we're all different and all united. So, what's the common goal? The common goal is connection. The connection in and of itself is the common goal, because according to the wisdom of Kabbalah, we reveal it in order to become like the Creator, precisely in our connection. There are no examples, so it's hard to understand. No such examples. It's some kind of a feeling towards other people. Right, your attitude towards others, where I put the desire of another above my own. Right, love another as yourself makes a person an element of the one whole, and through that he starts feeling the Creator. So it's a state. It's not an action of connection, but it is a state that's attained by a certain amount of actions, etc. Right? Self-annulment, to see society as greater than yourself. In Kabbalah, and especially Rabash writes about it, about such states, like the analysis of sweet and bitter, truth and false. Can you explain a bit what does it mean that the truth is bitter and the lie is sweet? It's two different types of analysis, through the mind and through the heart. We have only two systems of analysis, the emotional one, called the heart, and the intellectual one, called the mind, reason. Head. And through these two systems, usually we pass everything that we perceive. What we perceive and what we wish to relate to somehow. So, sweet and bitter is through the heart, truth and lie through the mind, through the intellect. And it's a natural analysis. The natural analysis is sweet and bitter. We even see it in newborns, in which their intellectual analysis is not yet developed. And what is that? What makes me feel good? What makes me feel good is good. And will it be good or not in a moment? I don't know, it could change, but right now I feel good. So it's like a computer program. I'm attracted to something good and rejected from something bad. Right, this is the result of this analysis, and along with it, we need to run the analysis of truth and false, because it might be sweet, but harmful, and to the contrary, bitter, but good for us. It's like taking medicine, and I understand that in a month I'll feel better, but right now it's bitter. Yeah, and this way we can advance. Now, the most important thing is how do we combine these two types of analysis, the intellectual and emotional. Can we say that the one is conscious and the other is unconscious? The first analysis, right, the first analysis is natural, meaning I don't need to make an effort. It turns out so automatically. Well, yeah, actually. And the other one needs to be conscious. Right, it depends on my development. Can society influences you 1,000 different reasons. We have 1,000 means by which to influence our intellectual analysis. Our emotional analysis is bodily. It's very hard to influence. Well, you can, but it's through extended periods of habit where a person becomes accustomed to certain tastes, smells. He enters a different mentality, suppose. We move to a different country. We can't agree with what you have there, and gradually we become accustomed to it, and it becomes natural for us. We already start feeling that this is pleasant, this is unpleasant, this is sweet, this is bitter. It's because the body grew accustomed to it. We see the same with animals. They also get used to whatever we teach them. So these two types of analysis exist in us. The only question is, how do we coincide these two analyses in us? The main thing is to teach a person to all the time try and develop their intellectual analysis in order to examine the emotional analysis. Why, how, what for? Emotional meaning sweet and bitter. And the intellectual meaning, is it really good or not? It could be sweet but harmful, it could be bitter but good for you. So it's like you're telling me that now, in order to reveal the Creator, that for me I think that it's a good feeling. And for that I need to connect, unite with my friends in the group. Right now, to reveal the Creator for me is very bitter. It's a feeling of complete love, connection, care for others. The Creator is hidden from us precisely because we would have rejected Him completely, never thinking again to connect to Him. So the best is that He stays hidden. That's why He's hidden. Yeah. Last thing. What is truth? Truth is when I understand that everything about me is relative, good and bad tastes, bitter and sweet, and the intellect, what's true and what's false, it is all relative. There's nothing absolute besides one thing, which is our root of complete bestowal, and the quality of complete bestowal is the Creator, and we are the opposite of the Creator, the quality of reception, the created beings. Only these two substances exist in their absolute form, the desire to bestow and the desire to receive. Besides that, absolutely everything else is relative. So I can take the quality of the Creator as an absolute, and in relation to that, to already do the analysis of bitter and sweet, truth and false. Yeah. The only problem is, why do I need to believe in that the Creator has the quality of bestowal? I don't feel it, I don't see it. It's written so, but no need. We're not pulling anyone. It's not some kind of theory that we're trying to apply to someone. We simply offer people to see how the wisdom of Kabbalah, which is merely one of the theories, explains the structure of the world, the structure of man, and the interaction between man and the world, how it explains the nature of man, the nature of society, how it offers us to come to a more comfortable state. Well, that's clear. Kabbalah writes, for example, that man is the desire to receive. Anyone can examine that. That's who or what he is. After a few months of study, you see that everything you do is only for yourself in order to receive, etc. That's clear. But that the Creator is the quality of love and bestowal, where can you see that? About that it says, reveal, taste, and see. So I need to take it as an axiom. Of course, no more. We need to develop our qualities, senses, so much so that we'll start to feel them. There are things that we don't feel. The general force working around us, we don't feel it. It's like a kind of radiation that I naturally can't feel. But I'm offered to develop such sensors such feelings, senses, that I'll start to feel it. It's like a long time before scientists invented microscopes and discovered germs, knew that, yeah, there's supposed to be these small kinds of elements. It was like an axiom. The same with the Creator. Well, yeah, for someone who does not attain it, then it's only an assumption. Okay, thank you very much. Till next time, all the best.